So today I'm going to be doing a quick review on the Titan Fitness plate loaded row machine. So first off, I'd like to go over some of the pros about this machine that I really like. Number one is that it is very easy to assemble. It took me just over an hour. Number two is the price point coming in at, I want to say it was $319 or $329. It is very affordable. The third thing that I really like about it is that it's pretty light, so it's easy to move around. Fourth thing is going to be that the chest pad is adjustable. You can lift this up. The chest rest can come further out or be pushed further in. Aside from that, the seat is also adjustable, but not quite as much as I'd like it to be. Another thing is that there's not a lot of parts to this thing, so there's not a lot that can go wrong with it. There's no pulleys, there's no cables. So again, it is very easy to assemble. It has a bit of a large footprint, to be honest, but you need that for the stability. Another pro is that the hand grips offer two positions, kind of a wider slash for your rear delts, and then more of a neutral hammer grip to really get the inner lats working that mid back. And then the handles themselves are adjustable as well, so they can go further out or further in. So you can really play with a couple different settings, scenarios there, a couple different angles, grip styles. Now for the cons about this machine, really not too many. One of the cons is that when you're pulling the weight, it kind of doesn't feel like it's like a true whatever you're pulling. You know, the resistance isn't equal all the way throughout. Another thing is that where they have the foot rollers, they're in a really awkward spot. So if you've ever been to a gym and use like a hammer strength isolateral row, you normally have like foot pads right here where you place your feet to do the rowing. Those back there, I find myself not really using at all. Another con about this is that it moves around, and that might be because I have it on my rubber stall mats, but when I'm using it, it tends to shift around a bit. The last con, and this is the biggest one to me, is that this pad is so stiff. It hurts my chest, it leaves marks on my chest. So when you start loading this up, you know, you just do 245s and 245s, so 180 pounds, right? Well, it's easy enough to pull, sure, but that chest support pad will be biting into you and it hurts. It literally hurts. So the option is to like take it off, have it reupholstered, or put a pillow or something and deal with it. But whatever, I'm gonna do neither of those things. I'm just gonna continue to use it. With that being said, let's jump into a quick test so you can see how this thing works. All right, so let's actually get to using this thing. So what I have found is that when I use the wider grips, honestly, I feel it more in my rear delts. I don't really feel it too great in my lats. So what I've come to the conclusion is that I just do lighter weight and I'll do the wider stance. Kind of focus on hitting the rear delt with that. So that works. But for hitting the back, the lats, I'll use the lower portion here and really focus on that pull. And so what I was saying before is that the resistance is not uniform throughout the entire motion. Once I get to about here, to get that last squeeze, it's just completely effortless. And then obviously, when you're dropping it back down, the eccentric portion, obviously you got gravity working against you, so it just falls down easily. But what I mean in terms of it being wobbly is that, you know, the arm shifts, but you can see how the mechanism works and why there's not a whole bunch that's going to go wrong with it. Because it's just metal and bolts that hold this thing together. There's no pulleys again. Now what you can do with the chest pad here, you can move it out. So if you're someone with longer arms, this will accommodate you so you can get a good squeeze. Now another con that I forgot to mention is that the seat, you know, honestly this is as high as the seat goes. And in commercial gym settings, I feel like I'm a little bit higher up and almost rowing more downward at an angle to really focus on the lats. Whereas this, you know, I'm almost even with it. So I think that's another reason why you don't really get too much of a good squeeze in the back. But it works for the price point. You can't really complain too much. Another thing you can do, bring that guy all the way down. And then this is how you really focus on the rear delts. The seat all the way down, chest pad adjusted as you need to. And now here, you can really kind of keep your arms parallel to the ground. Focus on pulling with the rear delt. That'll work your rear delt pretty nice. So overall, Titan Fitness did a pretty good job with this. Would I buy it again? You know, maybe. I was honestly expecting something a little bit better. I really feel like it's certainly safer than doing barbell rows or dumbbell rows, but I don't have a great pump when using this for my back, you know. So I'll do this towards the end of my workout when I'm already pretty fatigued and my biceps are roasted, and that way I can really feel it more in my back, which muscles are engaged. But again, it's not bad for the price point. Easy to assemble, does have some adjustability, and it looks nice. I mean, the Titan Fitness stuff, it's definitely come a ways up from some of their earlier products with horrible welds and missing stuff in the package. Now I got everything in this, so it's good. Now, you know, one other thing is the foot pads back here. So again, in commercial gyms, you typically have your feet up on a platform like this when you're doing the row. And what I find is that when I'm using this, I need to have my feet out in front of me to kind of stabilize the machine in my body. But I think their intention was for you to have your legs back here, which is just an awkward position. And you know, even with just 245 pounders, pressing up against this chest pad, it hurts. You'll see what I mean if you have this. This chest pad is very stiff. But, final answer. Should you buy this? Yes. If you're looking for a safe way to exercise your back, if you have lower back injuries, you can't do T-bar rows or barbell rows or dumbbell rows, this is a great alternative to those because it will support your chest and your upper body, so you don't have to worry about hurting your lower back. Yes, for the price point, I think you should buy it. Hope you guys like the review. I also have some Power Block Pros that I'll be working on making a review for next. And by the way, I've had this piece for about 2 months now, so I've used it enough times to know what I'm talking about. Power Blocks I've had for coming up on a year, so that should be a good review. I think you'll be surprised at what I have to say about them. Anyways, Hal Universe, signing out.